Imagine a world where not enough food is produced for the people on it, and the people that control how the food is produced have absolutely no ag background at all. It's a scary thought, isn't it? Well, in the past few years, many people and organizations such as the Humane Society of the United States and People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals have made claims against modern agricultural practices, and these claims have been highly publicized and effective, but they have been largely based on falsehoods. We must tell the facts about modern agricultural practices and why they're used to the rest of the world, or we may lose them. Today, I'll be discussing the falsehoods that these organizations have been publicizing against modern agriculture. Then I'll discuss why we must take action, and then third, I will jump into how we must take action. Recently, there have been many attacks on modern agricultural practices by organizations. Some have gone like gestation crates are cruel, or chemicals used by farmers are ruining the environment, and cattle hurt the environment with their flatulence. These people and organizations know little to nothing about how food is produced today. They don't know why these practices are used as well to grow this food. Now, gestation crates, for example, are used to reduce the number of pigs that are laid on or stepped on by their moms, to provide a healthy and a safe environment for the hogs, allows the farmer to keep a closer eye on all the animals, and also reduces aggressive behavior between sows. All this is according to Schinkel, Gestation and Farrowing Crates for Pigs, Purdue University, copyright 2008. Now, chemicals used by farmers are safer than ever before in history and make ag more sustainable than it has ever been, both environmentally and economically. Many people make claims saying that organic and other farming practices are better for the environment, but according to FAQ by Syngenta 2015, these producers are also using chemicals in their crops. The only difference is the chemicals they use are found naturally in the world. Now, if you find something naturally, it doesn't always mean it's good. And these producers must also use much larger amounts of these chemicals than farmers that use synthetic chemicals. Now, organizations have also made attacks on modern ag saying that cattle flatulence is bad for the environment. It's no lie that cattle produce a lot of gas. But cattle aren't the only ones. Ruminants in general do this. And there are many ruminants in the wildlife who do this as well, such as deer and bighorn sheep. So it's kind of biased to just point towards one species, such as cattle, on this subject. Cattle and other stock also do the planet a lot of good, however, because they use resources such or that can't be used any other way, according to the Environmental Protection Agency Land Use Overview, copyright 2013. There are many other claims made by these organizations people, such as animals are treated cruelly and genetically modified organisms are bad, but many are biased, and the bad part is many people believe them without going any further for research. Now that I have discussed some falsehoods that these organizations and people have made, let's jump into why we must take action to protect modern agricultural practices. If we don't take action, we may be replacing it with a system of agriculture that is unsustainable. According to About Modern Agriculture, CropLife International, copyright 2015, by 2005 we must double the food produced to feed everyone on this world. Now, we can't do that if we get rid of all these modern agricultural practices that help us do that. So if all modern agricultural practices were abandoned, there would be many new issues that would arise, and many of the old ones would still be around. Gestation crates were banned. There would be arguments that too many piglets are killed. And if synthesized chemicals were banned, there would be arguments that natural chemicals are just as bad or worse for the environment. And if all this was changed, the cattle flatulence issue would still be around. Now that I have discussed why we must take action, let's discuss how to take action. One way to take action is to communicate with consumers. Now, anyone who eats and is alive, in my book, is a consumer of food. And we must tell each and every one of these people why these farming practices are used and what would happen if they weren't used. According to Cubitt Willett, Farmers must talk the language of consumers, copyright 2015. Don't focus on science and economics alone, as the consumer most likely won't be able to relate to this. Now, many of you out there right now might be thinking, well, I don't live on a farm and I don't really know a whole lot about all this stuff. But that's alright, you can still help by telling people what you do know is true and encourage them to go and research for themselves the truth from reliable resources. Another way to get our point across is to communicate with our government representatives, both state and national. Now, we elect these people to listen to us and be our voice, so this is our job to do. Now that I have talked about the falsehoods organizations and people have been publicizing against modern agriculture, and why we must take action, as well as how we must take action, I hope all of you out there go on and share this information with others, because our sustainability, both economically and environmentally, depend on it.